Mussolini was. So Mussolini, his name was Benito Mussolini. He was. I think Alam Iqbal went to meet him. He was actually quite impressed by Mussolini at some point. I think in his Urdu poetry or Persian poetry, I'm not sure which one. There's a poem on Mussolini. He was born in 1883, so probably similar sort of age as Alam Iqbal, and died in 1945. He was the Prime Minister, Italian Prime Minister, from 1922 to 43, so almost 21 years he was the Prime Minister. So during the Alam Iqbal was born in 1877, so it's a bit older than. And Alam Iqbal died in 1938. He's 60 years old. But he was sick for a long time. I think he has some sort of respiratory disease, I think. Anyway, so that's Mussolini. He was the Prime Minister of, and he's one of the, you can say he's the founder of modern fascism at the practical level, anyway. So Mussolini, at the start of his political career, he was the son of a blacksmith. He belonged to various labor organizations, and he was an editor of a socialist magazine. But then, after World War, the First World War, during it, he changed his views and he became a nationalist and a fascist nationalist. And one of the things which fascists, they sort of worship power. So he started organizing his paramilitary forces, nationalist paramilitary forces, which, like how Hitler did in Germany. And these organized paramilitary forces then, intimidate and terrorize their opponent, and that's how they amass power and even social supports. It's a classical example. So, for example, that's how Mujib did in Bangladesh, or Altaf Sen did in Karachi. And intimidation, against their own people, etc. And through that, they marched. They basically forced the king to make him the prime minister. And then once they were in the government, they dismantled all the democratic institution and became the leader, that was Führer. So that's the genealogy of the rise of Mussolini in nutshell, and that tells you, about fascism as well. It organizes paramilitary forces, and it intimidates the opponents, terrorize them, and through that it captured the power, and they use that power to reshape society as according to its own vision. So power, and in the process, the leader is sort of deified, and the leader becomes the symbol of the manifestation of the national self. So you listen to the leader because you're listening to yourself, because that's your true self. Okay, I think that's enough for today, and we'll continue this. Let's go back to the text and reread it, and then we'll continue from there. So, a political doctrine in opposition of liberalism, which was originally proposed in early 20th century by Mussolini. And then we come to the philosopher Giovanni Gentile. I think the main importance is that of Mussolini rather than the philosopher. But anyway, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب صلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وأزواجه ذريته أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.